Men who likes to take bubble bath or whatever. You finally got a video response from me, yours truly. It's actually going to be very quick. I got 10 minutes to discuss 2 videos you did and a lot of points I'm going to point out that you did in the 2 videos that I totally don't agree with. And the videos were, does Floyd get his credit? And one of them was about the pound for pound, but let's jump straight into it. I noticed that when you do videos, well, it's obviously somebody that you don't care for or you like, you use your vocabulary and your way with words to basically discredit them and to show that you don't necessarily like them. I feel like, in all honesty, both of your videos are biased. Let me first say this first and foremost. In my honest opinion, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather are 2 heads of the same coin. They do a lot of things, both that I feel personally are the same. It doesn't even matter about these people. We can just remove their names and call them Fighter A and Fighter B. I have a huge problem with, and this is just in life, and maybe it's one of my pet peeves, that if somebody does something and the next person does it, I feel the punishment should be the same. Fair exchange, no robbery. I hate when it's looked at as person B does something and it's dismissed, and then person A is, crucified for it. Such as you make a comment. I want to touch on a lot of stuff you made. You made a comment and said that Floyd Mayweather actually fights smaller fighters, and I only count one fighter that was smaller, and that's Marquez. You're counting Hatton, and I don't count Hatton. Hatton moved up, and I believe he fought for a belt, and when he beat Collazo, and that was all good. Nobody said anything, but he moved back down to fight, and then he moved back up to fight Floyd. My thing is, how is that okay for him to do? I mean, Floyd did it. Floyd went up to junior welterweight for Oscar's title, and he beat him, and he came back down to welterweight. Now, if Floyd went back up to junior welterweight and let's say fought Miguel Cotto and lost, I wouldn't say, oh, well, he's not a 154 fighter. My thing is, if you campaign at that weight, if you're campaigning at that weight and you lose, there's no excuses because you chose to fight at that weight. And that's how I feel about Hatton. Hatton chose, and Hatton had been a welterweight. How was it okay that he was able to? It was okay for him to fight Collazo and win and then come back down. But when he fought a fighter that was better at that weight, then that's the reason he lost. I just can't get with that. I have an issue with that. You also bring up the fact of the first Castile fight with Floyd Mayweather. Now, once again, when I take into consideration, everything I heard. I heard Floyd had a torn rotator cuff. Now, if that's true or not, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But Pacquiao using his excuse to Eric Morales, them taking blood. Now, okay, if they took blood and that was the reason that you lost, okay, it's a reason. It doesn't excuse that you lost, but okay, I understand your reason. Okay, Floyd said he had a torn rotator cuff. Okay, fine. One thing I can give Floyd credit for that I don't give Manny Pacquiao for is that whenever Floyd had a controversial decision such as that fight, he immediately rematched Castile. Immediately. Whereas Pacquiao, he waited till Eric Morales had lost, then decided to rematch him a year and a half later. Where as far as Marquez, he waited till Marquez waited 4 years and then he rematched him. Not immediately. He waited. He fought fighters, then fought them. I don't even like Paul Williams, but I respect Paul Williams for immediately rematching Quintana to avenge his loss. He didn't wait 4 or 5 years until Quintana had started losing or got a little older and said, bam, you know what? I want to avenge my loss. Same way with Hopkins. That's why Hopkins gets no credit for beating Roy, because you waited all this time. Now I know it's politics, but the point is still, the rematch didn't immediately happen. Moving on, you made a comment and said if Manny Pacquiao, he has 10 extra fights, if Floyd had 10 extra fights, then he would have losses as well. And I disagree with that. If you want to go to Boxing Rec and look at their records, boxing, I don't know if you're familiar with, if you know anybody that's amateur pro, but I got matter of fact, one of my friends that's in my video, in one of my videos, he just turned pro. Shout out to Will. He won his first pro fight. dropped the guy 3 times and got him up out of there. But I don't know if you know, but amateurs is almost like, I mean, pro. When you turn pro, it's almost like amateurs. It's almost like the amateurs, because when you first start off, before you have your first 10 fights, you fight people with 10 or less fights. After 10 fights, you go what's called open class, which means you can fight a person, an amateur, with 200 fights, and while you have 13. Same with pro. If you look at Pacquiao's pro record, on average, I would say his first 25 fights, everybody was either had three wins and a lot of losses, or a lot of losses and little wins. He didn't start fighting competition until after his I want to say like his 20th fight or so on. Everybody up until that point was 12 wins, 10 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins, 3 losses. Whereas Floyd, after his 10th fight, he was fighting fighters with 30 wins, 4 losses. 25 wins, 2 losses. He was fighting he started to move up in fighting fighters. He didn't stay. Now, I'll give Pacquiao the benefit of the doubt. It's because of where he was. He didn't have the option. But still, he was able to learn on the job. That's one of the main reasons that made it, that if he was in the same conditions as Floyd as an amateur, he probably wouldn't be where he is now. He was able to learn on the job by fighting pretty much bums. Okay? You also, how much time I got? You also basically justify a catch weight. You're saying he is a smaller guy, and the catch weight is to even the playing field. And my thing is, this is boxing. If Floyd Mayweather challenges Klitschko for his title, his heavyweight title, there should be no catch weight. If we're fighting for my title, if I'm Klitschko and we're fighting for my heavyweight title, there should be no catch weight. You make the weight, you fight me. That's my issue with Cotto and him. Like I said, you think it's an necessarily issue with Pacquiao. It could have been Mayweather. Mayweather could have challenged Cotto for his 147 WBO title and said, I wanted it at a catch weight of 145. And my opinion would still be the same. Why are you fighting him at a catch weight? Because you're fighting at your best, but you're not fighting him at his best. You're making him lose weight. And every pound counts. I know a couple boxers, and they all say it. Every pound counts. 1 pound counts. I've heard that so many times. But you justify that. And I honestly feel like that's kind of being biased. What's something else you touch on? I'm trying to touch on. I might have to make a part 2 to this. What are something you touch on? Oh yeah, you basically make a parachute for Pacquiao. You say if Floyd and Pacquiao ever fight and he beats him, you said something about he's really not a welterweight. So he's a smaller guy. And my thing is, in actuality, he is not. He is a welterweight. He's campaigning at welterweight. It's like you're already making an alibi. It's like he beat Oscar, welterweight. Clottey, welterweight. Hatton, welterweight. Cotto, welterweight. Now, if he loses to Floyd, you want to say, oh, he was the smaller guy? Come on, that's bullshit. You just had 4 fights at welterweight. That's bullshit. You see what I'm saying? That's in all honesty, I feel like that's bullshit. You made another comment. I'm trying to move quick. You said Floyd would come in overweight. In actuality, that's bullshit. If you want, the information's out there. I was going to compile a video, but the information's out there. Marquez, Pacquiao came in almost 147 pounds. He came in almost as a welterweight. Almost both fights. Eric Morales, he outweighed him. Oscar De La Hoya, he outweighed him. You know, he's outweighing these guys. He's coming in at the welterweight limit for the most part. Floyd, on average, comes in a pound or 2, if that's heavier, from weigh-in to fight night. Almost every fight. You know, I mean, if you want to say if you look at the weigh-in between him and Judah came in like 147, Floyd 145. Baldomir 162, Floyd came in fucking 147. You came in as a junior middleweight. How much do you think Mosley weighed in that fight they had? I'm willing to say over 150 pounds. Floyd came in 147, I believe. He gained 1 pound. So I actually believe if they fought, Pacquiao would more than likely come in the bigger guy, maybe a pound or 2. That's a misconception. Floyd's not that much big. Floyd's a small welterweight too, and you make excuses about, him. Everybody gets a gift win, in my opinion. I said that in my video. In my opinion, he didn't lose to Castillo, but it was too close. But let's say, okay, you feel he did. Didn't Pacquiao lose to Juan Marquez the second fight? Yes, he did. Was he given a gift decision? Yes, he was. Now, But my thing is, I feel like just in your videos, man, you don't lay everything out. You lay everything out that supports who you're talking about and discredits the other people. Both of them have done things that I feel are bullshit. Pacquiao fought the best at lightweight, as they claim, Diaz. And me and you both know, David Diaz was not the best lightweight at the time. It was an easy fight for a title. Same with Hatton. Hatton was not the best junior welterweight at the time. He was there for a title. How can you say he's the best when Pacquiao fights him and he's a bum when Floyd fights him? I just think that's bullshit, bro. But I'm going to get back. I'm going to do a part 2 to this, but just a couple things I'm commenting on. Peace out.